Hey, hey, hey. Come on in, TikTok. Look at y'all coming on through. Let me wait for my YouTube people. Hello, TikTok. I am waiting for YouTube to come on. Here they come. Here comes YouTube. Come on, YouTubers. Now, this is the first. I'm going live on TikTok and YouTube tonight, everybody. So let's give the people a moment to come on in the room. Hello, TikTok. Hello. Going to adjust something on my screen here, on my other screen. You guys hang tight, TikTok. I got to do something with my YouTube screen. Let's make this screen a little brighter. There we go. Ooh, that's a lot better. Okay. Wow, you guys are really showing up on TikTok. Look at that. We got a lot to talk about tonight. A lot to talk about. You guys, for all of my TikTokers who are on with me for the first time live, usually I do Mystical Mondays on YouTube. And I usually pre-record it, upload it. But tonight I felt like going live. And I felt like including TikTok because you guys have been great in the comments section when I post videos. And so I want to give you guys the opportunity to interact and to give some comments and some feedback. And I need to get to know you guys, my TikTok audience as well, because TikTok is a different energy. It is in a good way, I feel like it resonates so much with where we are now in the planet and the frequency. TikTok is all about everyday people doing everyday things, expressing everyday emotions, right? And so we've all been responding really well to each other on TikTok. So glad that you guys could be here tonight. Okay, so I am Dr. Dawn. For those of you who are new and you don't know me, I am an intuitive guide and spiritual messenger. And so, what that means is I'm the go between the spiritual realm and the physical realm. I'm like the one relaying messages from the spirit beings to human beings. And so, more often than not, I serve in this capacity on two different ways. I usually do one-on-one sessions with people where I introduce them to their spirit team. I let them know who are the beings on their team who are assisting them right now as it relates to their evolution on the planet and their journey and the goals and the purpose that they came here to fulfill. So I usually do that as it relates to my one-on-one sessions. And then on Mondays, I act as the go-between between the spiritual realm and the physical realm for the collective, meaning all of you, which is providing information to the masses as it relates to downloads that I have received that will assist us in our evolution and progression on the planet. Okay. All right. So I'm going to get started because people will just come in as they come in. I am so glad to see all of you coming in here tonight. As I said before, I usually don't do lives. I usually pre-record my information and then upload it on YouTube and then just look for the comments afterwards and respond accordingly. But I felt the need to kind of interact and reach out with the people today. Okay. And so whoever's on here is supposed to be on here, and whoever has information or questions or comments that they want to share, please feel free to chime in. Okay. All right. So tonight we are going to be talking about recalibrating star seeds. Okay. If you are on this live or if you listen to this replay, you are more than likely a star seed. Because guess what? As star beings, we are drawn or attracted to energetically the things that are on our path that are in alignment with our current frequency and our journeys. Okay. So, as a star seed, that means you are a being who has come here from a higher dimensional plane with the notion and the goal of assisting Earth in its evolution and progression as it ascends to a higher frequency planet, right? A fifth dimensional planet, at least. So, I want to welcome my star beings. Hello on YouTube. Hi to you too. I want to welcome my star beings, or AKA star seeds, here tonight because I have a message for all of you. Okay, I posted on my social media yesterday. I just posted like a little word of encouragement for you guys, a little reminder for you guys of who you are, why you're here, and what you came to do. And oh my God, the response was phenomenal. I think I got like 4,000 views so far and counting because you guys need that pick me up. You need that reassurance. You need that reminder right now that you're not alone and that you are here on purpose and you came here to assist in the evolution. And sometimes I know it gets lonely, not sometimes, all the time. I know it gets lonely. And I know that sometimes you don't have anyone, any other human to get that kind of physical, verbal feedback or that emotional kind of hug that you need so that you can keep going. Sometimes we get a little stagnant because we get a little frustrated and we get a little tired. But guess what? I know what that's like. That's why I took the whole week off last week so that I could recalibrate. And as I was recalibrating, I realized that there are many of you that need to recalibrate as well. So let's talk about what I mean by recalibrate, star seeds, because you're going to want to or need to do this at some point in your journey. When we talk about the word calibrate, it means to adjust, right? To adjust so that you can take external factors into account, things that are happening outside of you, so that you can allow comparisons to other data. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about recalibrating ourselves because of all of the external factors that are happening in our reality. Now, understand, I always use the example that we are like computers in the same way that we function and we were created and we kind of act in the same capacity as computers. We receive downloads from the divine, right? We sometimes have to um, get our software upgraded, right? Because we do, we're upgrading now in our frequencies. And so we also sometimes need to be reset. We usually have to do a reset after so often after we feel as if we are breaking down, so to speak. All right. So we're going to recalibrate our operating system tonight. Okay. So right now, I want you guys to first, if you don't realize this already, you're on your journey and you feel as if sometimes you're learning new information. Like some of us, as we ascend, we're getting more information and downloads about the fourth dimension, about the fifth dimension, about multidimensionality, about other planets. This is not new information. We are merely remembering the information. Let's be clear on that. You're not learning anything new. Nobody's teaching you anything new. There's nothing on this live tonight that is new to your soul. I am just triggering your remembrance. Everything down here is triggering your remembrance while you're here on this planet. Okay. I want you guys to understand that when you recalibrate, guess what? I'm not going to tell you to go sit in the corner and say, and meditate. I'm not going to have you do that. I'm not going to have you take a journal out and write affirmations. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to have you say, change your diet, switch your diet, less meat, more fruits and vegetables. Nope, not going to do that. I'm not going to even tell you to listen to high frequency music so that your frequency can be upgraded. Nope, that's not what I'm going to tell you to do in this recalibration. Has nothing to do with that. What I'm going to ask you to do in order to recalibrate is to change your perspective. That is the recalibration where we are now, changing our perspective in terms of our current reality. So let's understand something. All of those examples I gave you before, the meditation, I didn't say it, but yoga, writing affirmations, setting intentions, changing your diet, all of these things that we do to upgrade our human avatar, right? Because we got to get out of this avatar that we're in and move into our light body, okay? Absolutely. All of those things are great. But guess what? All of those things won't mean anything if you're still living, acting, and perceiving in the same area or domain of perception that you've been in. We got to change some things around right now, okay? So, first and foremost, in my video, I talked about how people are freaking out now because of the threat or the threat, we'll say the threat of a financial crisis, right? Okay. First of all, that's in your human perception. That's the human perception, picking that up. When you change your perspective and you recalibrate, you remember that this is a game series. This quantum field, you're playing a game. You're on the game board. You are a piece moving on the board, around the board. And as you move around the board and have these experiences, you're going to encounter different types of things that are going to distract you, to take you and move you off the board. So when things come up that present chaos and confusion, aka the financial crisis, right? You say in your perspective way of understanding and knowing, hey, this is a distraction designed to change my direction on the board, to keep me or prohibit or delay me from going around the board in a certain sequence. Now, when you change your perspective of it and you look at it with this eye and not this one, it changes how you respond to it. It doesn't become, oh my God, what are we going to do? Not going to be money anymore. The banks aren't going to have money. We're not going to be able to have actual paper. It doesn't become that anymore. It becomes just like this. Okay, this is where we are in the game. Let the game begin. This is what it comes. This is what it comes to. You can align and come to a better place of understanding, realizing, and a perfect, or not perfect, a better place of alignment when you look at it with the different perspective. You're recalibrating what is going on outside of you. Now, let me back up on the recalibration thing for a minute, because as a content creator, a spiritual teacher, a star seed, I am usually, as are others who are in this category as myself, we are usually operating in our human avatar, okay? Because we feel as if we are here on mission trying to fulfill our purpose by any means necessary. We're trying to fit into an algorithm. We're trying to put information together that appeals to the masses. We are trying to stay updated on what is happening in the galaxy and beyond so that we can be of service to the collective. And when we do that, we get caught up in the matrix a lot of times, y'all. Let me tell you something. How many spiritual teachers, healers, people are you following that you sometimes listen to them and you go, wait a minute now, they sound like they still in the matrix. They emphasizing, like so much on like well, I won't give examples, but you tell yourself sometimes, you go, wait a minute, they don't seem like they any different than me, because we can get caught up too. We can get caught up. And so when I feel myself getting caught up, I step back, step out of the matrix, and I recalibrate. What does that entail? Shutting down social media. What else does that entail? It entails disconnecting from people, things in my environment. What does that entail? Sitting and getting centered so that I can hear better from the source, aka God. It requires a total disconnection. in order to recalibrate. Okay. And so for people, and I gave you the example of myself, for people like myself in this position, we have to be twice as more aware of the matrix and the paradigm and getting lost in it, because we are feeding information and healing out to the masses. And so you want to kind of make sure you're not speaking one thing and doing another. Okay. I'm always giving examples of getting caught up in this darn matrix because it is part of our everyday reality. It cannot not be. Ooh, that was a double negative. Cannot not. Y'all just hang with me now. It cannot not be in our everyday reality because everything in our reality is a coded number system. So it's easy to get caught up in it. Let me tell you something. I'm do this Mystical Mondays on Monday only. I don't want y'all looking for me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No, because guess what? We're creating a rhythmic pattern. We're creating a sequence. We're creating numbers. We're creating a sequence that is repetitive. What is the matrix? Repetitive numbers, repetitive sequences. So you probably won't ever see Dawn, Dr. Dawn, doing anything, and I hate to use the word consistently because that's part of our conditioning, right? To be consistent. That's what we're told and taught to do. But you can't always be consistent. If your energy is leading you to say, not today, stop, step back, then do it. Don't deny that for the sake of being consistent, because that's the program. The program is consistency. That's what you've been taught. That's what's been piped down to us generation after generation after generation. Consistency. That is a program. We're breaking away from that program. Okay. Working from 9 to 5, 8 to 4, 8-hour days or 40-hour weeks. Again, there are the numbers. You guys, we're not going to have that. That's fading out. You can see that's fading out. If you find yourself doing anything consistently, be mindful of it. If you work at a job where you got to clock in and clock out and you have to do it every day, you're in the matrix when you do that. Okay. We know that, right? But as you're doing it now, don't get caught up in the consistent pattern of what you're doing from 8 to 4. Or if you don't, or if you want to take a break and take a day off from working, do it, because the energy and the frequency supports this rhythmic change of the algorithm. The algorithm is not just in these electronics and social media. The algorithm is in your life and your being. That's the part we got to understand. We associate algorithm with computers and phones and social media. The algorithm is you. You are the rhythm. You are the algorithm. So when you start keeping the pattern, keeping the pace, keeping the same, whatever, you influence the electronic algorithm of the quantum field. So the field changes when we change. So as I mentioned to you guys before, Dawn doesn't work at 8 to 4, 9 to 5. Don't do that. Dawn doesn't post content every day or a certain number of times a day or at a certain time or at a certain time. Dawn doesn't do any of that. That's all algorithmic. And so many would argue, well, that's why you don't have a whole lot of followers, or that's why you don't have a whole lot of viewers, or that's why, your content, isn't as visible to the masses. But I'm going to tell y'all something. Whenever you are trying to fit into what the collective is doing, you're in the algorithm of the matrix. So if the algorithm and the collective and the majority are shooting for millions and millions and millions and millions of followers so that they can have endorsements, so that they can have visibility, so that they can have whatever comes along with all of the followers, and you do the opposite. You do the opposite. Guess what? Shoot for however many viewers and followers are comparable to what you're doing and where you are, because your energy attracting what you need. Because see, this is what people don't realize. Just because you have a large number of followers or visibility doesn't guarantee you success. How about that? There's been a lot of people who have had least amount of exposure and visibility who caught a break, who got lucky. This is what they say. This is what they tell themselves. I got lucky. I caught a break. Somebody happened to see me. Or that, no, 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 no. That's not what it is. You're outside of the algorithm. You're changing the grid. See, the goal now, you guys, is to change the grid, to do things differently, to not continue the patterns that have gone on century and after century, and to move it into a different place of being. How do you do that? Except to do things differently. We've got to move into doing things differently to shift the algorithm differently. And so, how do we do that? Come on, star seeds. We keep recalibrating. We keep recalibrating. We keep coming into an awareness of who we are, why we're here, what we're doing, and our purpose. That takes ongoing recalibration, or you'll get lost, because from the time you wake up in the morning to the time you go to bed, you have gone through all kind of matrixy patterns, systems, and programs. All kinds. You can never escape them. Never, ever, 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 ever. They're put in place for just that reason. I want to share something with you guys. There are probably people in your lives and you're going, how does this person have all of this? Like, they got good health, they got a nice career, they got this, that, and this person is just mean, nasty, narcissistic, don't care about nobody but themselves. Like, you just are wondering, you're like, I'm trying to do everything. I'm trying to raise my frequency. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to this, that. And you're going, why can't I get ahead? Why am I struggling? Or why am I not doing as well as this person? Let me tell you a little secret. A little secret, because you gotta know, what do we say recalibration is? Change in perspective. Recalibrating your spirit body by changing your perspective and your outlook. In that example I just gave you, that person who, oh, you're so welcome. This a soul's journey says, thank you, I needed this today. That's why you're here. You were led here. You were energetically pulled here, soul's journey. So you're more than welcome. So, in that example I just gave you guys, with the person who has everything and they're mean and they're narcissistic and they don't think about anybody else, and, and you're the complete opposite, guess what? As long as a human being is operating in a place where they feel like they have everything, then what would be the need to go within, right? Here's the trick to that. So we still have beings here that don't want us to ascend. You know that, right? Everybody talks about the reptilians. We know about them. There's some other ones too. But they have humans here who they are working through. Understand this. As long as they pave the way to assist these humans, I hate to just call out narcissists, but narcissists, they just jump out at me because they fit the paradigm of beings that are so materialistic, third dimensional, not into unconditional loves, all about self. I just keep using that. Sorry for the narcissists, but I need that for a point of reference, because everybody knows what I mean when I say narcissist. So let's understand that these beings work through humans. And as long as they keep the path golden, as long as they think they allow everything to stay great in this person's life, long as they allow this person to get sick and get better, continue to have wealth, continue to have the material thing, as long as the person will never have any desire to go within. So guess what? You keep that person, for all intents and purposes, on your payroll, right? You can keep using them, working through them to disrupt the grid. Now, for those of us who are here with the mission to help evolve this planet, we come in here with a mission and a purpose. We have to experience some things in order to trigger us into a remembrance of who we are and why we came. So, see, with these eyes, you're looking at the person with everything and the narcissist and the this and that. Like, you're a little envious because you're like, why do they get all this? But when actuality, you're the winner. You're the winner because you are evolving ascending, assisting, and in a place of awareness. You understand that all of this other stuff that this person is experiencing and going through that looks so great, y'all know that's temporary and fake. Y'all know this is a game. So when you're looking at that, your perspective should be, oh, you think you're winning in life. You really think you're doing it. You really think you got this thing figured out. You really think you've mastered it. When in actuality, tisk, tisk, tisk. What you doing? And where you going after this? And will you come back? Because you know where your destiny is because you're into it. You're in your awareness and you are moving and assisting with the ascension. Okay. Perspective, you guys, perspective, remember, is designed to make you look with these, see a reality that is not real and doesn't exist, and make you feel a way that will keep you down in that vibration that keeps this game board up for play. Okay. As long as we got this opposition a little bit, we can still play on the board. Because if everybody gets into it and it sins and gets the game board is crushed. It's crushed. And they're not ready for it to be crushed yet. So we got to keep the players on here that distract us. Okay. So oh, okay. I like that comment. Somebody said every time on here on TikTok, someone said every time I think I have something figured out, I get put in my place. Absolutely. That is a good thing. That means you are divinely connected. You are constantly being guided. Those lessons are constantly coming to you and being shown to you and clarified for you and confirmed for you. And you're steady moving along. You're steady moving along. But there are those others who think they know everything. You can't tell them nothing and don't even try to. Don't even try to, because you have to have these players here on the board. They got to be here on the board to distract you and wind you up a little bit. But just look at them. They should stand out to you now. You should really be able to see them with good, clear eyes. Now that this frequency is the way it is, you should be able to identify these human beings. Easily. And you should be able to step right on aside now that you know who they are, why they're here, and where they are in their ascension process. Okay. I just got to tell you guys that, because if you realize that, you won't have any more feelings of envy or, a little bit of disgust about your current situation or, Lord, let me explain something to you. Just because you're a star seed, you're not here to struggle. Let me clarify that first and foremost. You're not here to struggle. You're not here to be indigent and poor. You're not here to be, going without or not feeling as if you can have what you want. Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're at a place where you haven't gotten it yet, or you feel as if you're not on the path to getting it, it's quite the opposite. It is the opposite. You're being put on a path where what you want is going to come to you, but it's going to be for your highest good. It's going to be divinely orchestrated, not the way that it is for the other beings who are here, who are walking in darkness and blind and not understanding and not getting it and experiencing things along the way as a result of it that are in alignment with what they came here to do, which is distract us. Okay. I want to be clear on that first and foremost. Okay. Because you are going through the process of realization. You're going through the process of remembrance. You're going through the process of, let me tap into all this divineness that I am, all these gifts, all these abilities, all this power that I have, so that when all of what I want comes to me, when it comes to me, I'm going to have an awareness and understanding and a readiness to receive it. Now, let's recalibrate you about money. Let's get into money, because we know money is still big on this planet, because it was a big introduction into the game, right? Once they introduced money, currency, it changed the algorithm, because guess what? We used to be on the barter system. You know what? You want me to do your hair? That's fine. I'll do your hair. Can you clean my kitchen for me, or can you take my garbage out? Sure, I can. We can exchange And that would be a fair trade. No problem. No problem. That was too easy, right? We were social, we were cordial, we were getting along, we were actually valuing each other in terms of what contributions we had and what we could offer. But then guess what? That was too easy. That you couldn't get a lower vibrational frequency with that. That's too much like love and concern and looking out for each other. No, we had to introduce currency. Ooh. And when we introduced that, it changed everything. And we start associating energy with money. We started associating, not associating energy. Let me take that back. We started forgetting that currency is just energy. Okay. And we put a higher value on it and made it kind of like what defines us. We made it like the goal. We made it like the biggest part of our existence here on our planet. Okay. But guess what? Just as we started, so shall we return. Okay. What y'all gonna do when it ain't no more money? Ain't no more debit cards, ain't no crypto, none of that. We have no currency. We're going to be, and we operating on a whole different system, a system of kind of bartering again. What y'all gonna do with that? Like, how's that gonna affect the collective when you can't differentiate us based on the haves and the have-nots? What happens then, right? That's a big part of the game, the haves and have-nots, right? Guess what? We're moving towards it. We're moving towards it. We're actually, y'all see it. You look at it as the financial collapse. I look at it as a financial restructure because we're getting ready to get out of that whole thing called finance. And so, how do you get out of it? But to collapse it, you got to collapse it to change it. So, it's got to collapse. And so, one of the things, now look, we may be a little while off from absolute no forms of like currency or money, but y'all see the first form that's getting ready to leave. They're trying to get rid of the actual currency, dollars and coins, so to speak. Okay, it's going to be a process. It's going to be a progression, and it's going to actually end up that money is not even what we're going to use anymore. We're not even going to do that. Okay, and so look, this is triggering a lot of people because guess what? It's happened on other planets. With the evolution that our planet is going through right now, other planets have already done it. Been there, done that. They already know, they at this part. They're watching, going, they're on this part now. Okay, let's see how they handle it. Because we know how we did it on our planet. Let's see how they do it on theirs. And they're watching. And a lot of you were on your planets when you experienced what's happening now. So it's triggering your memories. You're literally having memories of some of this stuff that's happening on the planet because you lived through it already. So look, the whole purpose of those beings from other planets helping us is because they're like, okay, we got to try to help them do it differently. We want to see the people on earth play the game differently than we did. And so they're trying to assist us. They're trying to give us little nudges, little hunches, whispers in our ear, like guiding us. Okay? They're helping us with the game because the game allows that. The game has always allowed help from multidimensional beings and areas, but the veil was so thick, we didn't know. We were just walking around like mummies, like just going through this whole cycle over and over and over again. Okay, but now we ain't got to do that. Now we ain't got to do that because guess what? We're getting all this help. Okay, so look, I want you guys to understand that changing your perception, when you change just your perception, how you see things that are happening in your environment or in your reality, it's going to change how you maneuver on the grid because it's going to change the emotion that you attach to what's happening. And it's also going to change your outlook on where you're going as it relates to this game. All right. Okay. Now, I want you guys to understand, I keep, my purpose as a content creator here on social media is to use these platforms as a way of getting information out to the collective because that's what I agreed to do before I came here. I know that this is what I agreed to. How do I know this? When you start connecting to the fifth dimensional self of who you are, you will recall your pre-birth choices. You'll be able to recall kind of what you signed up to do, kind of what lessons you came here to learn, kind of what role you would play, all of that stuff. You did that before you came. If you don't have a remembrance of that yet, you will. It's coming. And so that's why I'm very careful in my one-on-one sessions when people say, "Can you tell me my purpose?" No other human, and I want you guys to understand, it's not just me, no other human can tell you your purpose. We cannot. What we can see is the energy surrounding you. What we can hear, at least me, this is what I do. The guidance that I get from your guides. They give me visions. They give me suggestions to tell you. They give me things to highlight that have happened in your life to help open your eyes to where you're headed and your purpose. I'm merely giving you assistance with pulling it all together and triggering a remembrance of what you came here to do. Because for another human to expose that information to you, okay, to make it readily available to you, interferes with your experience. Part of your experience of ascension is tapping into that knowledge and awareness of what you agreed to do before you came here. Because it's right there, it's stored in your DNA. You have it. You literally have it. Everything down here on this planet, including myself, is here designed to help trigger your remembrance of it, your remembrance. And so and again, you guys, I don't mean to use myself as a way of plugging my services. I'm trying to use me because you guys are going to encounter a lot of me's on your journey. And so be clear that I literally, as you look on this screen, I am but a DNA structure, a structure in your DNA that is activated and projecting onto this screen to remind you of what you already know. I'm just a projection of you. Don't get fooled by my avatar, what I'm looking like on this screen. I am a triggered moment in your DNA. So when you're looking at someone and you're listening to information that they're giving you, and it's resonating, and you're connecting, and that person is you. It is you. Understand that. I'm going really deep into this now. So for those of you who are not understanding what I'm saying, you're here for a reason anyway, because when you get to that understanding, you're going to remember this moment right here, right here. There's no human that is more higher, better than, more gifted than, none of that than another human. It is not, because why? We are all connected DNA wise as it relates to our presence here and our experiences. So we're all just tapping into each other to remember, to help us remember. I'm remembering who I am all the time through you guys. Through my one-on-one sessions, I'll be relaying information and I'll tell you guys stuff that your guides are telling me. And then I'll write it down for myself like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that sounds familiar. But I'm learning through you guys. So part of my recall or my agreement that I came into was that I would not only act as a catalyst between the spiritual realm and the physical realm, but I would also gain a lot of my activations of my DNA through assisting you guys. You see how this works? You see how we're all in this together? We're all evolving, we're all assisting, we're all ascending, we're all one. That's where that phrase or that concept comes from. We are all one. That's what it is. That's what it is. And so when you have your experiences and your encounters here, everything is aligning to trigger remembrance. And I want you guys to understand, although Starseeds came here with a mission and a purpose and a reason, I want you guys to understand the other reason you came here is to have the darn experience of being on earth. What comes with having the darn experience of being on earth? Seeing what it's like to be on earth. Like, enjoy the daggone experience, because you don't come from this. This is not what you're used to. This is not the norm for you. This dense human body, this is a big adjustment for you. This is huge because you don't lug all this around where you come from. Look, I'm trying to have a better time getting into doing my hair, because where you come from, you ain't got no hair. There's no hair. There's none of that. You better start enjoying all of these experiences you're having, because you're going to look up in the blink of an eye and boop, mission over. Not that you're dead, because we don't die, right? You're going to be moving on to the next experience. Get this experience in. I say this because as a content creator and as someone who feels as if she's tapped into her spiritual purpose and mission, you can get lost in the spiritual purpose and mission and just get fixated on it. You can get fixated on it. And that's not what you're supposed to do. When you fixate and you fixate and you get into the routine pattern of doing things, you miss out on everything else that is happening that you came here to experience. You miss out on all of it because you think you got to get it done. Like, I came here to enlighten and assist in the ascension of the planet. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to get on live. I got to post this video. I got to do no. No, that's the biggest way for you to get out of alignment. The biggest way. Get into your feelings. How many times have y'all heard people say, "Oh, you in your feelings," like it's a bad thing? Isn't that a bad thing here? Have we been conditioned to think when somebody is in their feelings, that's a bad thing? Yo, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. Get into your feelings, because your feelings are what is guiding you on the game board. Your feelings are what have you tapped into the quantum field, the grid. Get into them. I love when people tell me now I'm emotional, or you always getting in your feelings, or, good. That's what I want to be. That's perfect. Because as long as I'm that way, I can connect. I can hear my downloads. I can feel when something ain't right around me, or when I'm hearing information that ain't right. As long as you stay in your feelings, you stay connected. The minute you're not in your feelings, you can hang it up, because you're very easily influenced by external factors. Okay. Oh, y'all, this is good tonight. This was very much needed. I know it is. I know I got star seeds on here at different levels of awareness, and that's okay. That is okay, because it's something here tonight for everybody. Everybody. So let's talk about those star seeds. Thank you, Brooke. Let's talk about those star seeds who think they all that now. Because it's some of y'all on here now. Y'all think, I'm in the fifth dimension now. I look at my comments when I'm posting stuff, and people will say, "Oh, I love it here in the fifth. And the fifth is great. I don't want to go back to the third." And the fifth, because like that's supposed to be a badge of honor, because you feel like you're experiencing the fifth and you're doing this and you're doing that and blah, 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 da, 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 da. And you got to let everybody know you're in the fifth. Come on, y'all know y'all on here. It's people like that on here. Guess what? When you're in the fifth, you don't have to say you're in the fifth. When you're in the fifth, you don't tell people you're in the fifth. You just don't. There's no need to. Like, there's no need to do that. There's no need to do that. Okay? If you are still feeling like, now let me clarify something, because we need to understand the difference between being in our ego and being affirmative in who we are, our power, and ourselves. Let's differentiate those two, because that ego is very tied to that third dimensional energy, right? But then that fifth dimensional energy says, stand in your truth. Speak your truth, stand in your power and awareness, no fear, no this. So then that could be misconstrued, right, as being having some egotisticalness if you do that, right? So how do we differentiate between standing in our power and being independent, and then working from a place of our ego and a little lower vibrational third dimensional way of being? Easy. How do they make you feel? Get back to the feelings. How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel to tell someone that you're in the fifth and you like it there, and this person doesn't feel like they're in the fifth? How does that make you feel? Does it make you feel good because you done achieved some? Ego. Does it make you feel like, "Ooh, I should help assist"? Maybe I shouldn't have said it like that. Maybe I should, tell them their oh, thank you for the cash out. Thank you so much. Maybe I should focus on their strengths, or, help them see their abilities, help them see. Fifth. See the difference? Fifth, third. It feels different. It feels different. How you move in it is different. So, fifth dimensional beings, let me tell you something. When you, as you ascend, because let me tell y'all something. You can be in the fifth, but you ain't got to stay there. You can teeter-totter because you're still dealing with egoic ways of the third dimension. You go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, which is what we're all doing kind of now because we're all trying to clean some stuff up, right? So we can get better calibrated so we can stay in the fifth. So we're all teeter-tottering back and forth, all teeter-tottering back and forth. But until we recognize ourselves as being higher beings first, and then human beings at a lower frequency second, that's one way to let you know that we're not quite in the fifth. Let me tell you what I mean by that. A lot of people come to me and they say, oh, when I went to sleep, I astral traveled. You know, like I love going to sleep because I can travel to the fourth dimension or I can do this. Now, they're saying it as if to say, I'm a human first, and I got to do that so that I can get to and feel and experience my spirit self. So I got to go to sleep or I got to do certain things so I can experience what it's like to be higher vibrational and in my spirit body. No, 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 no. It is the reverse. You actually wake up from your spirit higher body to see what it's like to be a human. You're the spirit first, the human second, but our concept isn't there yet. So when we're in a fifth dimensional consciousness, we start to associate our physical self with I'm sorry, I said that backwards. When we're in the fifth dimensional consciousness, we start to associate our spirit self with our planetary self, not the reverse. It's almost like we feel like we got to do things to see what it's like to be spiritual. We got to activate our gifts so that we can use our gifts. See how we're doing it? We're thinking like humans who are trying to be spiritual. We still ain't there yet, not realizing we're spirits conforming to this human way of being. So look, this is part of the recalibration awareness I'm trying to throw in here tonight. Because, and I keep using the financial collapse because that was all over TikTok, and I know that's got people going, so I like to stay with that example. When we hear or see information about the financial collapse, you look at it from your fifth dimensional conscious and your spirit self and say, oh, what them humans up to now? What's getting ready to happen on that planet? Oh my goodness, they talking about what's gonna happen? No more currency, they're gonna have to use debit cards. What? Ooh, let me see how this gonna play out. You look at it from the spirit, your spirit self, your spirit, not the human self. Your human self is just you're actually lowering your frequency and vibration to come down here and witness this stuff up close and personal. And so, look, I do it all the time now. I use my hair as an example, right? I always say, ooh, you get older down here and y'all hair start thinning. I'm glad we don't have that problem. Like, what else y'all do down here when now people might think you crazy. Like my husband will sometimes say, oh God, there she goes talking in third person again. But that's all right, honey, because that's how I stay connected to my spirit self so that I don't get tangled up in this human avatar and experience. I sometimes tell him, I'd be like, oh, you was a nice choice. When I came down here, that was great. You gonna come see me when we leave here? You gonna come to my planet, or we gonna hook up, or I always talk to him like that. Always, because that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. You have to put yourself now into the spirit realm, the spirit perspective, and that helps you ascend to your 5D consciousness. You can't get to the 5D consciousness still looking at everything like you a human down here having an experience, trying to get back to being a spiritual being. That's what we're doing. When people come, I'm telling you, I've changed my whole focus now in my sessions. When this became very apparent to me through my spirit team, they sat me down and talked, and they said, well done. We applaud you for the work that you're doing, but we need you to try to do something a little different now in your sessions. We need you to start getting your clients to see things from the perspective of a spirit. They keep coming to you, asking you, can you tell me about my past life? Can you tell me about my purpose? Can you tell me? They're asking you about the stuff that is in them that we are trying to activate and trigger so that they can get to their place of awareness and they can tap into the 5D. So now look, my sessions are different. My sessions are now information from their spirit guides, which helps lead them to the connected dots that they now need to put together, not just their past life, but their current purpose and way of being for their experience here at this time on the planet. It's perspective now, recalibration. My spirit guides told me last week when I was recalibrating and not on social media, tell the masses, the collective, what we're telling you this week while you're recalibrating. Tell them about recalibrating because they got to start recalibrating. It's great now that they're doing yoga, that they're meditating, they're changing their diet, they're doing affirmations, they're journaling, they're healing energy blockages. They're learning about chakras. They're like, that's great. Well done. Well done. You guys have moved beyond what is in front of you. That's great. But guess what? Now you got to move beyond all that and move into now an awareness that you're a spirit. You're a spirit dropping down, y'all. We done dropped down to come be with these earthlings and see what it's like where they are and experience what they're doing. Start putting yourself in that mindset. You will always feel elite. You will always feel like you're a guest here. You will always feel like you're where you're supposed to be. You will always feel and know that you are abundance because you're looking at everything going on as an observer. You're literally looking at it as an observer, going, "Oh God, I'm glad I'm not from here. I'm glad I'm just here to have this experience to help these people out, help this planet out." That changes everything. Wait, you guys giving me some good comments too, and I haven't been feeding into them because I've been trying to keep my pace and my pattern, but I'm going to get to them, you guys. My people on YouTube, you guys are usually used to me going an hour. I may go a little over tonight because it's a lot going on right now. And if you guys stay with me, great. If you got to go, I understand. But for my people watching the replay, especially on YouTube, if any of this information resonates with you, or you find it useful, please like, subscribe, follow. My TikTokers, you guys, please do the same. You guys over here blowing it up with the likes. Thank you so much for the 1,500 likes. I love it, love it. Appreciate that. And I don't mean to emphasize the numbers because I just did the numbers. See that matrix? See, I put the numbers in there. 1,500, did all that. But I want to give you guys acknowledgement because I know it takes a little bit to be pushing that like button. So I appreciate the energy you're putting into the exchange that you're giving me, as well as on YouTube. You guys, thank you for interacting. Everything on this planet, you guys, is an energetic exchange. When we realize that it goes so much more beyond money, it goes so much more beyond that, because you're going to see that in the years to come. You're going to see money is like insignificant in the big scheme of things, but that's coming. We're going to get there for sure. But I want you guys to know we are so close. This planet is so close to experiencing 5D. We are just very close. Many of us starseeds, we have tried to ascend in previous lifetimes and we couldn't do it. I was one of them. I couldn't do it, y'all. You see, I came back. I'm like, okay, I'm getting it this time because I'm not coming back. That's what I keep telling myself. I'm not coming back. I'm going to get it this time. But here's what you don't realize. Each time you come back, you pick up where you left off. You don't go backwards. You pick up where you left off. And so the fact that I am where I am now, y'all, let me tell you how many times I've been here. Ooh, child, more times than I can remember. But it took me all these times to get to this point. But fortunately, these new players coming in, they don't have to do all this. They ain't got to put all that work in like I did, and like some of you did, because some of y'all put in some work too. But ascension is, I want you guys to understand that ascension is not a reward. Let's understand that, because people think, oh, I want to ascend, like you're gonna get a prize or like you're gonna win the game and you're gonna get some. That's not what it is. It's not what it is. Ascension is not that. It's just the process. It's the process towards getting closer to our light bodies. Yeah, getting closer to your light bodies. You guys understand what a light body is, right? It's the part of you that is not this. This ain't a light body. This is a human body. Okay? Human body made with flesh, organs, all that good stuff that it needs to make it work. A light body is just that. It is literally a light body. Some people depict it as a see-through type body. We know it as a spiritual kind of body, but it's light nonetheless because it's not dense. Our human bodies are very heavy. I know because I got on the scale. I know what that scale says. So this human body is a little heavy, but the light body, it has no weight because it's light. And so everything we do down here is to get us closer to that light body. And you're going to know when we get there, but we got to go through a couple of things before we get there. You guys know what's coming on the horizon. We got to collapse some of these conditioned beliefs and things that we have in place, financial systems, religious systems, educational systems, um, y'all get my mind is going like our government, like all that stuff has gotta kind of collapse. Then we got to kind of restructure. We got a lot to do. We got just a whole lot to do here, but we're on the path now and we're starting to move into it because this game's been going on too long. It's been going on too long down here. And so now it's time to put up or shut up and keep moving on. And so we the Starseeds, you guys from all over the galaxy, all over, we are here doing such a monumental time. When I tell you guys the waiting list to get here right now, oh, it's a waiting list, y'all. When I tell you everybody's signing up, people like, can I get it? You couldn't get nobody to come in the beginning. Didn't nobody want to come at first because everybody's like, Earth, that low frequency, I ain't going down there. Nobody wanted to come. But now it's getting real good, and not everybody wants to come. And so they got to stand in line. They got to put their name on the list. They got to wait for us to get finished doing what we're doing before the next tier comes. And I just want you to know when you say that you don't want to be here. A lot of people are telling the ships they want the ships to come get them. No, you don't. You don't want the ships to come get you because you went through so much to get here. So much. And so your spirit, your higher self, and your spiritual team, so to speak, is kind of not going to let you do that because they know that you don't mean that. They know this. And so I want you guys to understand it's not that it's some of you who are requesting to leave because a lot of people are, because I get a lot of messages, people asking, how do I leave? Or a lot of walk-ins, they want to walk out. Like, can you walk back out? A lot of people are knowing that. So I'm not going to get into the specifics of all that because I don't want to plant any seeds. I don't want to trigger any remembrances for you guys on the process to do that. Not on my watch. Y'all not going to get my hand slapped because I violated my pay grade. If you want that information, you're going to find it yourself. You're going to be led to it on your own. It won't come from Dr. Dawn because I want you guys to stay here and I want you to finish. I want you to finish what you came here to do. Let me see what else I wanted to say. Ooh, look, my spirit guys, they say, let's pull back a little bit because we done loaded her up with so much energy. Y'all, you should be able to you guys, you should feel energy now. When someone's talking to you that resonates or doesn't resonate, you should feel the difference. Like really 100% feel it. Not like before where you second guess, like, did this person mean to say that? Or were they trying to say that? You know how we used to, you don't do that now. Now you should know without a doubt when people or situations occur, how they line up or don't line up for your highest good, because the frequency is so high to support that differentiation right now. Okay. The doubt is going to be removed more and more and more from your thought process and from your energy field, the more that you step into your truth. Somebody said, I absolutely know what you're saying. Good. Glad. Great. Somebody said, this is so inspiring. Good. Glad. Because guess what? Just like I told you guys on my little post that I put on social media, everything I'm saying to you, You agreed for me to say it. You agreed for this trigger to trigger your remembrance of stuff. You guys, you got to understand when you came down here to play the game, you knew your memory was going to be wiped clean. You knew that. You said, I'm going to play, but I'm going to need some clues along the way. Your team said, okay, how you want to do it? You picked the people you wanted on your team, moments where you would get a big enough experience that it was going to trigger something for you to remember. I know this because when I turned 40, well, around the 40-ish, um, I picked the trigger of loss. Like I had just, well, not just, I was in my first business and lost all these contracts, one behind the other. After other. I'm like, what in the world's going on? Collapsed. And so I remember this like it was yesterday. I sat in my room crying and I said, I don't have any contracts. Like, what am I going to do? I have no means of income. Like, what am I going to do? Where's my help? Like, what am I going to do? I literally looked at my husband and said, I can't contribute. I have nothing to contribute. I have no help. I don't know what to do. In that moment, when I said, I don't know what to do, what's going to happen? That was my trigger. My spirit team, my higher self said, whoosh, here it is. Here comes the turning point in her awakening. And so at that point, I started hearing voices a lot louder. I started getting more guidance because, see, look, they had my attention. They had my attention at that moment because I was down. That's why I want you guys to know when you get that down moment, be it finances, be it your health, be it loss of loved ones, be it any of that stuff, that is the trigger moment. That's the moment you put in place on your program to where you would get divine instruction, intervention, and an upgrade. You did that. Start understanding and realizing your experiences for what they are, pre-programmed events to trigger your awareness and remembrance. That's all they are. That's all they are. So when you look at it that way, you see death differently. You see financial crisis differently. You see like conflict in relationships differently. You see everything with a different set of eyes because you're now privy to the instructions that come with the game. You're reading, you know the instructions that come with the game. So you know how the game is played. So you're following accordingly. Okay? Now, when you get in the game, well, I'm going to use me for example, in this part of the game where social media is so prevalent, okay? I knew when it became a phenom and it was coming all these different platforms, I knew what it was. I knew it for this, that it was going to be a mechanism for activating star seeds and for sharing information to the masses. I knew that when it happened. That's not what a lot of people thought it was. They're like, oh, we can, like show and flaunt what we got. We can take pictures and videos to, let people see what we're doing, where we're going, who we're with, like all that. Like people looked at it as social media to be social, right? I saw beyond the veil and I knew this was coming right here, the awakening, and that this was a good way for us to reach a lot of people during the awakening. All right. So I got on Facebook, right? Because that's to me was the beginning for my social media presence. Now you guys understand, I've only been on social media 2 years. That's all. I haven't been on social media at all. For most of my adult life, I had no need for social media. I could care less about social media. I wasn't tapped in, wasn't doing all that. But when I tapped in or was led to Facebook to start out in my social media kind of journey, it was great for getting my feet wet and getting comfortable because Facebook is kind of the place you go with friends and family on there. You got a comfortable audience a lot of times. It's a good way to start getting your feet wet for social media, okay? Then I did that, and then somebody said, oh, Dawn, you should get on Instagram. And then it was like, oh, Dawn, you should get on YouTube. Then it was the wonderful TikTok. Everybody kept saying, if you're going to go live, go on TikTok. You got to go on. So then I kept going and going and going and going and going and going, right? Feeding into what, you guys? The collective. The collective was guiding, telling me, showing me, and I kept following all the steps. So once I got into a realization, like, wait a minute, this is too many different frequencies, programs, energies. This is too many algorithms. Like I'm in it. I'm deep in it. Time to pull back, pull out. Okay. This was part of my recalibration last week. And so I sent my notice out today to all my Facebook followers saying, it has been a pleasure. I have loved interacting and serving you, but I'm going to be deactivating this platform at the end of the week. I got to step back, got to pull that one out. And so I know that as this goes on, we're all, well, not just me, people are going to start deactivating different platforms because guess what? We fed into the myth that more is better. The more platforms you're on, the more visibility you get, the more followers you get, the more clients you may get. Remember, that's the matrix. There it is. Here we go. More, 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 more. Remember, keep going, keep going, keep going. And when you recognize when you're in it, when you fell into it, it's okay because this human part of you is designed to do that. Recognize where you are in the process and how you need to maneuver, change, or shift to make it more comparable with you. If it means me pulling off Facebook, I'm pulling off Facebook. If it means me pulling off Instagram, I'm gonna pull off that. If it means YouTube, I'm gonna pull and move and shift how what my emotions and my guidance lead me to do. Because guess what is your GPS now? Your internal guidance system is led by your emotion, your feelings. Your feelings. When something starts to feel off, adjust and shift. Because if you don't adjust and shift in that moment, you don't want to see all the backlash that could come from it. Don't keep doing something that you know does not feel good. It's not going to end up good now. It's just not. Shift accordingly. Okay? So, my message to all of my star seeds tonight, get into recalibrating, get into taking steps back, looking at where you are in your life, your journey, how much you're expending energetically in this grid as it relates to matrix program type things. If you're feeling certain kinds of way, look at and recalibrate your perspective on why you're feeling the way you're feeling, because more than likely it's a program that is trying to destruct, and you're feeding it by continuing to have those same feelings over and over and over. Remember my example I gave you in the beginning about the person who appears to have it all, the money, the material things, the good health, the this, that. It's this. That's not it. They're not winning. They're not winning. That's not it. That's not what the experience, all the experience wants to give you. That is sometimes designed to distract and deter you from where you are in your manifestation of your divine life that you're creating. Okay. All right. Let's look at some of these comments. Oh, Brooke says, throw that scale in the trash. More matrix numbers. We can stop obsessing over. You better know this, Brooke. I am on a weight loss program and it requires you to come in every week and get weighed. I said, I'm not doing that. I am not getting on the scale every single week so that you can tie me to those numbers every week. Do y'all see how that is? That is tying you to numbers. No, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Like, tremendously. Listen, I forgot to tell you guys this point. Let me tell you guys this. We are going to, because numbers are running the program, right? We're so dependent on them, okay? Start allowing yourself to tap into your intuition more and your intuitive guidance more. Let me tell you something. So start doing it in practical ways. So for example, there's a new show that premiered. It was on my YouTube feed. It was a preview. It was a reality show, and so without even looking at what network it was on, I said, "Oh, I bet that's on Bravo because Bravo is known for reality shows." Well, it's not. It's on Peacock. Okay, so then I said, this would be very interesting to use as a means to kind of practice my intuition. You guys got to start practicing this intuition stuff because you guys are going to be using it more than you know. You don't know it yet because you're so dependent on everything being placed right in front of you, or somebody telling you and guiding you, or reading a book about it, or doing, like, we're so used to being fed what others share or tell us that our own intuition has been literally dormant. Literally. But I say all that to say, going back to the television shows and stuff, I just played a game with my husband. He went randomly through the screen. You know how you watch cable? They got different shows on, and I said, read the title, and I'll guess what network it's on. I use my intuition, okay, because I was tapped in this time. I set the intention to use my intuition to help me identify, which networks it was, and so we did, and that he was like, "What are you doing? You like people pay you to have sessions for you to tap into your intuition." I said, "Yeah, but I'm trying to think of, at my core, I'm a teacher, so I'm always trying to think of ways to help assist others with tapping into their intuition because it's a process. I'm here to tell y'all, it's levels to this thing. It is. I hate to say it, but it is. Like I couldn't just sit and hear guidance from spirit guides just like that. This was for me. It was almost a 20-year process. It ain't gonna take y'all 20 years. It's not because there were tears. We came and we learned in tears. We activated in tears so that the next group, it won't take that long. And then the next group, it won't take as long. And then the next group, it won't take long. Then the next, so that we can keep the tears moving and the evolution being quicker. So means for you guys to use your intuition are going to become more and more prevalent and obvious to you because your um, um, your dependence on humans and other resources is going to start diminishing. It's going to start diminishing because you're going to realize you got everything and you are all that you need right here. And that all that DNA is within you is full of more than enough information to guide you on this planet. Without nothing else here, you could navigate. Let me see. It says, Elisa says, I have such a hard time even with thoughts of being on a lot of social media platforms. I'm choosing to believe I don't need that to touch the souls I need to. Like you said, following my feet. Absolutely. I've never been connected to social media. Hence why I've only been on it for 2 years and it's been out for what, 20 plus years. And I'm just now on it these last 2 years. I've never seen the relevance of it except when COVID hit and there was no other link to the outside world really except through this. And I pushed myself to get on it. But now that I'm on it, I'm still going back to my original thing, which is, now, do I really need all these platforms? Can't I just be on one? And if the people want to see me, can't they come to the one platform? Like what? Who said you had to be on 6 or 7 different platforms? The collective, the masses. And so that's what we do. We follow what the majority does, right? No, 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 no. No. Not on this new earth. So Mega App says, guys, the truth is we're a collective. Some spread the unconditional love and oneness through direct communication and some through inner practice of unconditional love. We're all notes in the symphony. Beautiful. I love that. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I love it. So I see the requests that you guys have over on TikTok to go live. I can't do that tonight because I'm live actually on TikTok and YouTube. And so my YouTubers wouldn't be able to experience this. So you keep that thought. TikTok and Wednesdays is when I go live directly with you guys only. So if you want to go live with me, then come back on Wednesday and we'll go live. Okay. So look, how did I get to these 2 platforms, YouTube and TikTok? Let me tell you how. So YouTube is the platform where I have the least amount of followers, the very least. So you would think to yourself, why go on that one? Because that's not the one where all your followers are. That's where I'm going. Remember, I told you I do the opposite of the algorithm. The algorithm would say, go to the one where it's the most people. Nope, I'm going to do the opposite because I'm trying to change the algorithm. We all are here to change the algorithm and the perception and understanding that everybody has had of how things like work on this planet. I'm coming over to YouTube. So that's one of the ones I chose to stay on. Why am I on TikTok? Now, let me tell you, one could argue that TikTok is where I have the most followers, which I do. I got almost 4,000 on TikTok. And so it's not for the numbers for TikTok, it's for the energy. It's a different energy on TikTok. I fought TikTok for a long time because I said, "Oh, that's for the kids. I'm too old for TikTok." That's what my mind told me. My mind said, "You too old. You ain't got nothing that people on TikTok want to hear. Like that's not the right Like my whole human mind pushed back TikTok. So that's why I went to TikTok. Remember, do the opposite. Do the opposite of what your ego or the algorithm is telling you. So my ego kept telling me TikTok wasn't it. So that's why I went, because it said it wasn't it. You see? You guys get in the mindset of doing the opposite of what your ego tells you, because your ego is trying to hold you back, distract you, like keep you where you are, not let you move forward, experience new, elevate, evolve. Your ego is going to do that because it's used to doing that to you. But you got to recognize it. You got to recognize it and do the opposite of what it's telling you not to do. Okay? And then we already know Facebook and Instagram, that's meta. I think people are going to be moving from that anyway, because the metaverses, that's a whole nother live, y'all. That's a whole nother live. But yeah, I just want to share with you guys how I kind of maneuver and shift and move, because I am you and you are me, right? That's all we're doing down here is sharing experiences so that we can have some activations, some real activations so we can evolve. Oh, Robin says, do the opposite. That makes sense. Absolutely. You guys, I'm telling you, if you just be an observer in your spirit, multidimensional self way of looking at things, when you look at things that the masses are doing or the collective are doing, you're automatically going to go, I ain't doing that. I'm going to do this. Because you're going to see the program. You're going to see the game and you're going to pull back. Elisa says, I was with Dawn when she started on Facebook. Numbers mean nothing. She has truly helped me ascend and change my life for the good. Thank you, Alyssa. Because look, I would be on Facebook, y'all, and it'll be just like now. I may have 5 people, 6 people, but look, this is the thing about these people that I'm coming across on my platforms. I don't have huge numbers. I don't have thousands and thousands of followers. I don't, but I got loyal, connected, aligned people who I'm connecting with. I talk to people who have thousands of followers and they're struggling trying to get clients. They're consulting with marketing people. They are trying to do all this fancy stuff on social media. If you look at my social media, it ain't fancy because I don't have fancy know-how. I just have content. I have information. And so my spirit guides kept telling me, just do you. Give the content, the clients will follow. And I have to say, they have never lied. My clients are consistent. A lot of them are repeat. Most of them are repeat. And my clients come from word of mouth, you guys, not really social media. It comes from word of mouth. So when you feed into this perception that more is better or greater or more, it's the opposite. It is always the opposite of how things are portrayed. Always. Remember, you're in a programmed sequence. You're in a program sequence. Whenever you step out of that program, you change and shift the game and your reality. So keep stepping out of the norm and what the collectives is doing. Somebody said my guides sent me directly to, I know who that is. Absolutely. And that's what I bank on. I don't bank on followers and numbers. I bank on, look, y'all know I'm here to do a job. Y'all know I came to this planet to do something in particular as it pertains to assisting with awakening the planet. Then bring the people to me, send them to me so I can help them. And they do. I can't tell you how many people say, I was led to you, or I came across you when I scrolled, or YouTube, just happened to follow you, or on Facebook, you were on my, timeline, or what, like you don't have to go out searching and working and breaking your neck. That's the old energy. Remember that? Remember, we used to think it has to hurt to work when we're working out. Like, it ain't hurting, it ain't working. Wrong. We now know differently, right? We now know you don't have to be on treadmills hours and hours and hours and hours. You can do 20 minutes of intense working and exercise and get the same results. See, we're shifting. We used to think money was the root of all evil. Well, no, it ain't the money. It ain't the money. No. It's other things. We're shifting the programming. That's right. We're changing the definitions. He says we're changing the definitions. We're shifting all of that in this new program. But guess what? We are the change makers. We are the shifters. You don't shift it by doing the status quo and getting into the algorithm and following the conditioned patterns that we've already done. And I think these new seeds that are coming, these new star seeds that are coming are very much aware of that. Let me tell you something. On TikTok, there was a video. A mother asked a little girl, she was a little Caucasian girl. She's about 5. She's about 5. So her mother said, "Who is Martin Luther King?" So the little girl said, "He died for our sins." And she said, "No, honey, that's not who he is. You got him mixed up and confused." Let me tell you, that little girl didn't get, she's not in the program. She's not in the program. She has no idea or concept of this program, precondition, awareness of things that have happened, what we're supposed to believe. Like, what these kids that are coming, they're not going to know it. They're not going to know none of this stuff. All this stuff we were brought up to like learn, understand, and believe, they're not going to know it. They're going to be lost. They're going to be lost. So we, as the awakened ones, we're paving the way, right? We're getting it ready. We're getting it ready for them. We're kind of getting our broom and sweeping away some of the old kind of myths and beliefs, kind of making way for this new path, right? But while we're doing it, we are shifting, clearing, and removing all of our conditioned third dimensional beliefs. All right, questions, comments. You guys come on, because I've been talking for an hour and 20 minutes. Mega Ape says every path matters. Even one expansion to one person's consciousness to unconditional love matters immensely to the collective. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because look, we're not looking for quantity. We're not looking for numbers. We're not doing that. We're looking for some energetic movement, moving some energy. Let's move and shift some stuff. Questions or comments over here on TikTok? Thank you guys for the 3,200 likes. I love that. Look, I gave y'all number credit on purpose. I did numbers on purpose. Any other questions or comments? So let me tell you guys something. As we're shifting, as you guys know we are, you guys are going to start to be not so interested in celebrity drama and things like that, because you're going to start seeing them differently. And so they're just beings that have chosen in their experience to be in the spotlight as a way of triggering our awareness of us, of who we are. So I challenge you guys, when you see celebrities in the media for whatever reason, remember they are designed to trigger and wake you up and remind you of things within you. Things within you that I don't want to say you may need to deal with, but just know they're designed to trigger you. Let's just put it like that. So even start to look at them a little differently. We looked at them before as they're the great ones, right? We bow down, they're wonderful, like they're outside of being human almost. That's going to change. What's changing now? You guys are going to start seeing them as you, as souls down here having a journey, if you haven't already. So I'm just excited that all of our systems are collapsing. I will be uplifting, encouraging, and trying to keep you guys together on my social media platforms, because you need to know, not just in the spiritual realm, you got a whole team. Everybody has a whole team helping and assisting them. But I want you guys to know in the physical realm that you have support. Don't ever feel like you're alone. Okay. Oh, thank you, Julie. She says it's nice to be in this time with you all. That's great. I agree 100%. 100%. It is great being here during this time, and I want you guys to always feel that way. Don't lose don't lose sight of that because of what's going on outside of you. You're built to withstand it. You wouldn't have come here if you weren't built to withstand it. Okay. Any more questions and comments? Because I'm gonna see, that's another thing, you guys. Some of these people on these lives, they'll be on there for hours with y'all. I've seen some people like sleep with their phones on or whatever so that they can stay live, and people, y'all, Dawn don't have that kind of energy. Dawn has to preserve and keep her energy intact. Brooke says, thank you for holding the space for us tonight. You are so welcome. It's always a pleasure. I'm just here living out my purpose, which is to not just assist, awaken, and trigger, but I want to send y'all love too. I want to really send you the energy of love to all of you, sending you lots of love because we're in this together. You are so welcome. Thank you. Said thank you for the video. Is it normal to feel somewhat anxious during this time? Absolutely. It's normal for you to feel anxious. It's normal for you to feel depressed. It's normal for you to feel afraid because you are triggering and activating and moving senses that have, or not, I shouldn't say senses, energy, okay, that has been programmed and stored subconsciously within you that has to come up and out during this time because you're now starting to deal with it, address it, and face it head on. So it's going to cause you to a little shake up. Okay, because remember, if we're experiencing a collapse of all of our external systems, you're experiencing a collapse of your internal system as well. So that's the side effect of it. So that's totally normal. You're going to get through it. Just stay in awareness of when it happens and why it happens, and then you'll get the message, what needs to be dealt with and cleared up. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. You're welcome too, Mega Ape, and you've learned a lot, Julie. Oh, I'm glad. I'm so glad. Now, you guys, here's the thing. You guys are all welcome. You see, I don't come on live very often because look, I don't get into the program of I'll see you next Monday, 9:00. I come on when I have something that I feel is meaningful, that I think you guys would want to have some dialogue with, and that not to say that all my videos aren't meaningful on Mondays, they are. But you see, tonight, this was something that you guys wanted to communicate and talk about. I've been on lives before where nobody says anything. Okay. Not because maybe they don't feel like it or they don't want to, but because the information may be, but I know when I'm guided to do this right here, it's time to do it. It's time to move. So I'm not in a program, you guys. I will move when I'm directed to move. But more than likely, I try to always get you guys some uplifting, mystical information every Monday when I'm guided to the information. My guidance doesn't say do it every day. It doesn't say that because I can't pull that into you. I can't. Some people do. Some people are able to do it, but I don't do it like that. So yes, you're with the motion is great. So look for me, you guys. My videos on Mondays, Mystical Mondays on YouTube, TikTok. I'm coming to you guys on Wednesdays. I'm trying to get to know you guys a little better over there because I haven't been live or giving you guys any videos over there. So I'm going to try to do that. But definitely, if you follow me on YouTube, you look for these videos on Mondays. And TikTokers, come on over to YouTube. Y'all act like y'all can't flip flop, but I guess, look, y'all don't want to get in the program either of following everybody all over everywhere. I get it. I totally get it. So everybody do what feels right to you in this time, okay? All right. Is that it? Somebody says so much confusion. It's confusing info out there. This really helped clarify. Thank you. You are so welcome. So welcome. I am but a vessel. So thank you, divine beings of light, and thank you, Source, aka God. That's what we're going to do tonight. Okay. Everybody take care. Have a good night. I appreciate you all. If you want to learn up more about me or you want to look at the services that I provide, visit my website at www.discoveringyourinnerlight.com. It should be links in the bios, wherever you guys are. And until next time, you're all so welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Good night.